This is A Swede Speaks. Well, today it's Monday. So yesterday was the church elections in Sweden. And we still only have the preliminary results. That's at least the only ones I've been able to find online. But I have with me my friend, A Swedish Poet. And we are going to analyze this election a little and talk about the results. And well, Poet, maybe we should look at the numbers a little.
That's a good start.
I divided them between political parties and parties that are not a part of the Swedish Parliament or who are not even trying to be a part of the Swedish Parliament. And one newspaper called this election a success for party politics. So let's take the parties first, or the political parties. The Social Democrats got, according to preliminary results, 30.45%, which is a slight increase since last time. Something called Borgerligt Alternativ, the Civic Alternative, and that's really a bunch of people from the moderate party who wants to involve themselves in church politics, got 8.83%, which is a decrease. The Center Party got 13.9%, which is a slight increase. Free Liberals in the Church of Sweden, FISK, they got 2.92%, I think, yes, and that's a slight decrease. Someone calling themselves Green Christians got 0.16%, and they were apparently a new party because I couldn't find any old results for them. The Christian Democrats in the Church of Sweden, 2.98%, and the Christian Democrats is a political party, so they are kind of profane. And that's a decrease. The Green Party in the Church of Sweden, 2.33%, which is a decrease. Sweden Democrats got 9.22%, which is an increase, but is only half or so what we could expect them to get, at least in a parliamentary election. And the left in the Church of Sweden, Vänstern i Svenska kyrkan, got 3.58%, which is an increase. So these are the political parties. And then we have the groups who are not political parties but more theological groups. So we have Fearless Church, Frimodig kyrka, 3.94%, which is a slight decrease. Non-partisans in the Church of Sweden, partipolitiskt obundna i Svenska kyrkan, 17.1%, which is a slight increase. And some people calling themselves Open Church, Öppen kyrka, 4.34%, which is a slight decrease. So what should we say about this the relationship between profane politics and more theologically inspired groups here?
Yeah, I think you said it very good in the beginning, that a huge victory for profane parties, so to say, parties that are not religious. And that is a huge disappointment for me and for many others confessing Christians, Jesus-centered Christians. So pretty much the same as it was 4 years ago. No huge difference. Of course, the Sweden Democrats, they doubled their votes, which I don't think themselves would call it a success, but it's a good result. I mean, if you double, you make a good election, even if I think that they might have hoped to get much more votes, since they
noticed
put a lot of effort and money in their campaign.
Yes, I noticed that some Sweden Democrats were not happy about this because they expected more. But I'm not sure how many people actually voted, because I still feel like this seems to be for especially interested people. Although the problem is that you have a lot of people who are very interested in politics, and they go vote for the church election because their parties happen to be represented there. So is there really any way to get out of this, I don't know what to call it, this swamp of party politics that has taken over the Church of Sweden? Even though in theory church and state separated 17 years ago, the parties are still very much in control of what the Church of Sweden does. So do we have any way out, or should people start leaving? I mean, people have already started leaving, but should more people leave the Church of Sweden and look elsewhere?
crossed my mind the same moment I heard this devastating result, if I may use that word. Because, I mean, in order to have a revolution in the Swedish church, it takes that those parties that are not profane, that are, so to say, religious and want the church to be a confessing church, that they get the majority to change the system and throw the other parties out, so to say. And I don't see it coming. I don't see it coming at all. This result was pretty much the same as 4 years ago, and we can see that the Labour Party have a huge grip of the Swedish church, which is very sad and devastating news. So either you stay and fight or you give up. I sound very negative now, but I would not blame those people who give up about the Swedish church. I'm almost there.
Yeah, when it comes to the Social Democrats, I read a story today. The Swedish journalist Göran Skytte, who is a confessing Christian since a few years, he wrote about, I think it was 2 years ago, when Vanja Lundby-Wedin, who used to be chairman or chairwoman of the Swedish Trades Union, LO, she left her chairmanship and instead she became the leader of the church politics group of the Social Democrat Party, and she was put right under the Archbishop in the hierarchy in the Church of Sweden because of this insane system. And she made an update on social media, maybe on Facebook, but on some social media. And she said that we started the church meeting, and to this she referred to the general church meeting, kyrkomötet, with singing hymns or psalms. But our group, the Social Democrat group, we started our meeting before the church meeting with singing the Internationale, which is the song for the socialist struggle. And that's very interesting, because Göran Skytte also quoted from the lines of the Internationale. And the important lines here are these: "There are no supreme saviors, neither God, nor Caesar, nor tribune. Producers, let us save ourselves." If you don't even believe in a savior, because if you sing along with these tunes, you're denying the existence of a divine savior. I can't see it any other way. What on earth? Why on earth do you want to have any power within the Church of Sweden? I mean, it's not for the good of the church, at least. You got to have an alternative motive here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Göran Skytte, who is an old Marxist activist, he was that before he turned to Christianity many years ago and got saved. It says it all. I mean, the Social Democrats, it's important for foreign viewers to know this, that they were extremely powerful back in the days. They had election results over 50% sometimes of the Swedish population. So it was pretty natural for them to want to dominate all parts of the Swedish society. And there was really not any area that was free from politics, so to say. So in that way it makes sense that they want to control the Swedish church also. Even if it doesn't make sense, it makes sense in that way, that they want to control all areas of society and make it a people's church, what that now means.
Right.
A church for the many, not for the few, not only for Jesus followers or people who believe in the Bible and the gospel, so to say, but the people's church, more profane-like church, and that is where the conflict lies, I think.
Yes, in practice we get a church which will follow the spirit of the times. Whatever is considered to be right or wrong, by a majority of the people, or actually not even by a majority of the people, but by a majority of mainstream media, of politicians, of the people who are setting the agenda. That's where the Church of Sweden will go. So yes, because they did have 50-point-something% in one of the elections in the 1960s.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are lots of organizations in Sweden that have been very closely connected with them. Of course, the trade unions, also the movement for house owners, bostadsrättsföreningarna, The people who own their apartments, but they own them as a part of an association. They have been heavily influenced by this. You have the stores, the Coop stores. I think they might have loosened their ties a little now, but this was all part of the same movement. They were everywhere. And of course, to them it makes sense to want to control church too, because religion, faith, whatever you want to call it, becomes a competitor to their mindset, because faith by itself will have a different worldview than any political party, because a political party will have their utopia, or whatever idea they have. They will think that we can do it ourselves, and I mean, a Jesus follower will say we can try, but we can't create a perfect society. We will always need a savior.
Yes, that's true. And yeah, like you said, when you are that powerful and successful as the Social Democratic Party had been in the past, you don't get very humble. You want to control every part of the society, like education and media and also church, because I mean the free churches have been an area where politics actually don't come in, which they can't control. I mean, for example, Pentecostal church,
right.
That way. And the idea was that the Swedish church, when they separated from the state back in year 2000, also became a free church, but in the reality it was still controlled by the political party, and first and foremost the Social Democratic Party. And the Prime Minister said just 1 month ago, I think, before the election, that I cannot see an end for the Social Democrats' engagement in the Swedish church. So they're going to stay there and try to control it as much as possible for as long as they can. And the result of that, if they reclaim powerful, is that it's going to be a completely godless church.
Exactly. Either the peddlers must be driven out of the temple, or it will turn into a false church. That's what's happening, and that's what we're seeing.
Let me say one thing, that when the Swedish church has taken big decision through the last decades, for example, allowing female priests or allowing gay people to get married, they have done that because that is their view in the society, total equality between men and women in profession, and that gay people also should have the right to marry and call a relationship. They have taken this decision because they believe that in the ordinary world, so to say, they don't care about theological at all. They don't care about Jesus, what God says. They are just trying to influence their own values to the church without caring about theology. And yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's the problem. They don't understand the difference between church and state, or church and party politics. When they separated church and state, they said, we will give you your freedom, but you have to institute democracy, and you're going to have party politics. And the result of that is that I don't think they really were separated. They just changed the conditions, but the government still decided what the church was to do and not to do.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said before, which I think is very interesting, this problem, it really started with Gustav Vasa 500 years ago.
Yes.
When he had a debt he had to pay to the Hansa, and he destroyed the Catholic Church, which had much gold. They had big properties. And because Martin Luther, he said many good things, but one thing he said was that the king of the head of the state should also be the head of the church.
Yes.
That was when the Swedish king then